I want to ask for real sympathy in this situation. Obama administration has done illegal surveillance and harassment for more than a decade. It is illegal. It is completely unwarranted. I don't know why they're doing all these searches on me. There's an amendment about it, about government searching you for no reason. They took all my medical records in Australia. Also, they have made all these power structures and empires cutting me out of any peace and love and compassion. My protest is before the school, before the war, before the toilet video. What was I doing with my life? A lot of my work was volunteer and Samaritan work. Somebody stole me as a gambling debt and has been using me in a MAGA Iranian repression war and put me in a toilet and erased my birthday as this massive, sort of like a new age voodoo witchcraft practice. And it probably sounds very weird, but it is. It's like it has roots to Haitian, like devil worshipping and voodoo practices, which apparently are very, very good, and it's stemming from a Brazilian, Venezuelan culture that are occupying members down in Christchurch, Gaza Strip. I'm asking for help and sympathy. It's compassion, because if anyone knows me, I'm such an innocent-hearted person, and I am not simple. I've had a knock to my head with lead, and I've had to rely on news and other people helping me to teach me that I was gang raped and that the government is running a pipeline in Australia and New Zealand to make and exploit a lot of money out of me. There's also down the Gaza Strip a lot of drug money that came in due to a huge empire of drug laundering and drug trafficking, and it's established a lot of businesses of restaurants down there to hide all this money, that it is a trafficking industry that is organ harvesting my heart. And I have artwork that I worked on in Australia. I worked very diligently and hard on my business over there. I was very proactive in wanting my job. In Auckland, I have cowered from the violence and from the shock of humanity. I would never suspect that being put in a house where I told I was going to be safe for retirement, which I thought that would mean I would get peace. Instead, they took credit and trademarked and profited off all of my life experiences and memories and erased me from any of this, and then socially discriminated and made hierarchies to erase me. And it's got something to do with Warner Brothers, people getting passes and going up to very high lengths of society, while I got gang raped and put on the floor as greasy meats. If you have any way, can you please ask international justice to please help me for organ harvesting and trafficking and honour killing and these court cases, making me the villain when I have absolutely no idea what it's about. I just really was innocently making a business, and they blamed me all over Australia and stolen all of my artwork, all of my businesses, down to my nannying, down to my art, my fudge making, my homemade crust, my homemade beauty balms, my gift baskets from Temu, my bohemian art prints. It was all just plagiarized and stolen. They're making a lot of money out of my life, and I'm like the gift for this human trafficking ring that needs to be dismantled, because they keep using me on a toilet video each time I end up trying to break free with financial. I've had financial abuse. The neglect is huge. It's a homicide to keep me. I've gone through heaps of violence. There's photos of disembowelment. There's photos of like anal problems. There's photos of stomach problems from whatever they did to me. I've had chemical violence. They're using bioweapons on me, and it sounds crazy. I don't even know why I'm in the middle of this. I was just an innocent person that really likes nature and likes a natural life. I like just going to work and then keeping my life simple, going to the beach, going to the park, walking my dog, seeing my sisters, seeing people that cared about me, that had time to care about me, or, believe it or not, me and my sisters are quite similar. Jodie loves going to the park and going out hiking. That's the first thing she did when she saw me again. When I first arrived back into Australia, we went down to this lake to go for a walk. Now, I don't have any sympathy or compassion. I'm also being ostracised. The monopoly of the food is going to basically Terry, a motorcycle gang, and the mother that really has hated me and is torturing me, has claimed that she was here to protect me and took me off my mother, and then sexually violently attacked me and gave me HIV in a bedroom, I think, and they're withholding evidence because it looks like I've got STDs, but on my paperwork all my medical records say that I don't have mental illness, that I don't have sexual organ damage, nothing. They've said that I've got hormones of a tumour or pregnancy, and there's chemical traces. Please help me. I need, they are censoring me in my phones, they're censoring me. I don't even know what happened in these courts. I know that's when people started to not like me or trust me, and I also know that cheese is making me pay endless amount of tax for some cheeseburger, but he should be done for international slavery and also violence of female genital mutilation. There were also a lot of articles that I've lost now about Trump and Adidas using me in sexual torture and shaming underground in some asylum type. I don't know if it's AI or what it is. They're making me look like I'm in some mental ward, and sexual violence of me being some weirdo that has sex with orgasm. Wayne Brown has an article about the racism, calling me black and lazy. I'm not lazy, my immunity's way down, and I'm totally scared. To be honest, I've never been a fearful person. I'm like the kind of person that rises up and I'm like, wicked, what are we going to do today? Like, not in a extremely outwardly, like, in your face spirit, but I was just a real, like, yay, what are we going to do? Like, let's go out, let's do something. Like, I was a really happy person. My life didn't have violence but these girls have, the other thing is they've branded me so dirty and disgusting, and I'm not. I've got cleanliness photos, and I've also, it upsets me because flowers is definitely something that is very special to me, because I've always had floral dresses, floral outfits all throughout my life, all throughout Christmases. My family know I love floral fashion, like everything to do with fashion, and that I love like things like cowboy boots and vests with the tassels and cowboy hats. They've always known I love this kind of look, and what else did I need to say? So they've branded these girls the same sort of image, and it's like kind of like a McDonald's type situation where my corporate identity is based on kind of my life and my recipes of life, and it's just been all stolen. Like Leanne's apparently stolen all of the recipes of what I was working on at home about my fudge and my chocolate making and my jewelry making, putting it in rice, selling it out, and my campaigning and my knitting. I did so much knitting. I put a lot of time into a business, and in my children books, they've stolen it all. They plagiarise absolutely everything and call me really lazy after they've socially shocked me and violently attacked me and tortured me, and apparently my mum and Reuben Honor killed me together and I don't know what it is. Okay, my psychic side, when this first happened, I actually saw a cult like group following me to Tony's, because I went to Tony's and I was going to him saying, I think Reuben's trying to make me a prostitute. I don't know where that came from, but there was video cameras in my room, and I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't have a relationship with him, but he came over to, be with it, like to sleep with me, and I just thought, it doesn't make me weird about it, because I was like, I've been in all these relationships where a break up and then you go back to your ex, like, because it's really hard to start a relationship again till you like sort your own problems out and resolve your past, all this kind of stuff. It's a lot of work. So I just thought that's all that it was, and I ended up in a lifetime of pain and misery over this situation, like framing me for some home wrecking, framing me for all this shit that wasn't true, framing me for being on a dole bludger after his money, just all this crap. And before, I remember in my past I went to Tony's and I said, Tony, I'm looking for Tony. And he said, what's up? And I said, I think he's trying to make me a prostitute. And he just said, really? And I said, yeah. But something in me really kind of makes me feel like Tony was already in on it and knew about it, because all of the scams were about killing my dog in cartoons, and there's an Indian network here kind of barring me from anything. So I think they actually worked to take over a lot longer than they. So I think they were maybe working in the shadows before they exposed themselves as like new people in the block type thing. I think they might have been working. But anyway, when I went there, it was like when I got back to Christchurch, I just kept seeing that Tony was involved in it, and like it was kind of like it's kind of like some sort of, how do I explain it? The vision, what I saw is that person, whoever gets tangled in it, they tangle a web. So whoever they want to involve it, they tangle them into some sort of problem, and that person, to get out of that problem, has to do something corrupt in a way. So that's what I was seeing with Tony, and like, I don't know if that's true, but it sort of seems like that's what keeps happening. They sort of were blackmailing people or something to get involved in this situation, and people ended up getting involved and having to do bad things out of their own scope of what's normal. And this is, tell me if I'm wrong, because I haven't read any books about mafia, I don't really know, but this is the images I was getting after I got a lot of mercury poisoning. I've been chemically poisoned again and again. I need access to help. I am an emotional person. To be honest, my whole stomach's gutted out and I can't feel anything. I'm totally numb. Like, I don't have, like, it's not letting me have my own. That's where you produce serotonin and happiness. And they're running death cults, they're running like scams, they're taking away my money out of my accounts, they're taking away my rights to govern my own life, like to go to recruitment agencies. They've got books blacklisting me off all of the lands. Help me, ask for help. I was just innocent and then pulled into this. They just keep making me look disgusting and stopping me from having my independence. They just won't stop using me.